Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. And I'm here just to share some thoughts on this iPhone 12 announcement. And this is going to be one take style. Obviously, still resting, recovering. Still got my walking stick right here from the pretty bad knee injury that I suffered. But once again, thanks for all the messages of support and all that. I really have appreciated it. And just want to kind of share a quick, quick rant about the new iPhones and what I'm feeling so far after watching the announcement last night. So it was a pretty awesome event. I think, Apple has definitely nailed this kind of online type of format for their events. And, the iPhone 12, I think what shocked me the most was that the iPhone 12 is actually the device that I feel is the most balanced, that I feel offers the biggest upgrades over the previous version of the phone, the iPhone 11. And in a way, I'm actually kind of thinking now, should I get the iPhone 12 instead of the 12 Pro Max? I mean, the 12 Pro Max, and let's face it, I got the 11 Pro Max that's filming this, and it's a great device. The pros have always been kind of separated from the regular iPhones in a big way. And from last year, it was, AMOLED versus LCD. You couldn't get an OLED display on an iPhone 11 or any iPhone of that price. But I think now that the iPhone 12 has an OLED edge-to-edge display, yes, it's got the notch, but it's really, look, it's a tiny bezel, man, 3 millimeters around the whole thing. I think it's going to look great. But the big differentiating factor in terms of the display is gone. You now have this on the iPhone 12. And you also have what appears to be, the design just looks incredible on both the 12 and the 12 Pro. But I think that boxy design looks in a way even better on the regular iPhone 12. While the 12 Pro Max is just reminding me a lot more of the 11 Pro Max, it just doesn't look as different, I guess. And I guess the key area where there is a bit of a difference is in the cameras, because obviously you have the inclusion of LiDAR on the Pros. You have the telephoto, which has that 2.5 or 2 times optical. And it's crazy now that the 12 Pro Max is the best camera of the bunch. Like, it's not just a larger version of the 12 Pro. So there's that to keep in mind. But let's face it, the key feature that I use with my iPhones is video. And it was a bit kind of sneaky how they did it in the presentation, because they brought up Dolby Vision HDR video recording during the 12 Pro Max section. But when you went back and looked at the specs of the iPhone 12, it is also capable of shooting in Dolby HDR. Now, it can only do it up to 30 FPS versus 60 FPS on the Pros. But I film most of the time at 30 FPS, and if I need to do 60, I'll just use the extended dynamic range. The reality is here, guys, one of the key selling features for me of this phone is this feature, and it's available on the 12, just like on the 12 Pro Max. It's pretty crazy. Add to that the fact that you have some pretty amazing colors. The pricing is ultimately the key here. They did go up in price a bit. So the 12 mini is not available until November, and that's the one that's $699, but it's $799. The 12 is getting a bit pricey as well. And yes, 64 gigs, that is just a crime. I mean, Apple, and then on top of that, to be removing the chargers, I mean, it's just not a good look. I think if the price had gone down a bit with the kind of lack of chargers or headphones in the box, maybe they could have sold it that way. But that being said, the iPhone 12 is looking like a really compelling device. And on top of that, just the fact that it's going to be available for pre-order this Friday, along with the 12 Pro, while the 12 Pro Max is going to be another month, essentially. It's going to be another month, mid-November, when I would actually get that device in my hands. So I have a lot of things to consider right now. Do I want to go for the 12? I'm not going for the 12 Pro. I don't think it's differentiated enough from the 12. And if you want my honest opinion, which phone of these do I think is going to be the most popular? I think it's going to be the iPhone 12. The iPhone 12 is still going to become the number one iPhone of the year, and maybe the 12 mini will come in second place. We'll wait and see what the reaction is to the size of it. But once again, I don't think you're going to be able to try them out in the store next week. It's just going to be the iPhone 12 and the 12 Pro in store to check out. Now, I'm a little bit nervous about like switching in terms of iPhone to like a 6.1-inch display, going down, I guess, in terms of display size. I typically like my larger displays, and the 6.7-inch display would be one of the main reasons why I'd go for the 12 Pro Max. But everything else, honestly, I think the 12 is the better buy completely. And with the lack of 120 hertz or any high refresh rate on these phones, it also feels like less of a stretch to have to use a 12 with no high refresh rate than a 12 Pro, where you really should have expected 120 hertz or ProMotion display on a phone that expensive. But anyways, guys, just some quick thoughts here. And, happy to be back to be able to kind of just share my thoughts on stuff. I'm going to do another video just right after this about this Realme Q2 Pro that was announced. It didn't get any of the limelight. I was kind of in a bad place yesterday, so I couldn't even cover the event. But just want to share my thoughts on this phone and why I think, does this phone even deserve to exist? I don't know. Let's try to answer that one in the next video. But anyways, thanks for watching this, guys. One take here. If you liked it, give me that thumbs up. And if you love the content of Frankie Tech, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for future updates. And once again, like I said, thanks for all the messages of support and all the messages of that I've received from you guys on Twitter. It's meant the world. And I'll follow up on Twitter with more details, obviously, about the upcoming giveaway that I announced the other night. All these things. It's going to take a little bit more time, though, just given my kind of current situation. So please understand, guys, and I do appreciate, once again, all the well wishes for a speedy recovery. I hope I do get better soon. Anyways, that's it for this one, and this is where I leave you by saying, this is Frankie Tech, signing off. Have a good one. I just dropped my my cane. Damn.